Okay, this video is find the sum. Find the sum of the polygons. Here's the biggest thing I'm worried about here in teaching you this is that people will want to multiply, but it says clearly here sum. I'm not trying to be sarcastic at all, I promise. This is add. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to pretend a little bit together, and what we're going to pretend to start with is that there's a 1 right here and that there's a 1 right here. You're going to distribute this through. 1 times this is the same thing. 1 times 3x squared is 3x squared. 1 times 2x is 2x. 1 times 5 is that. It's called satisfying the parentheses, and they're satisfied, so I can just bring that down and say 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. If there had been a 5 out here, I would have multiplied the 5 through, and then I would have started my addition process. Here, again, there's a positive 1. It doesn't change anything, but I want to make sure that you realize that the reason that you can drop these parentheses, because I hear people say, oh, just drop the parentheses. That's a half-truth. You can't just drop the parentheses. The reason that you can drop them is because you're multiplying through this thing by 1. So plus x squared, positive 1 times negative x is negative x, and positive 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. It didn't change anything, but that's how I did it. And if this had been a 9 or a 7 or a 3 or a 1/4 here, being in this good practice would have told me to go ahead and distribute this. Now, when we gather like terms, this is crucial that we can only add pieces that have the same variable, and that variable must be raised to the same power. So I'm looking for x squareds first. So here's 3x squareds right here. Here's another x squared right here. So we have 3x squared plus 1x squared is 4x squared. Albert Einstein once said, why remember what's written down? So I'm going to take him at his word and say that I use these, so I'm just going to cross these off. Now I'm looking for x's to the first power. This is 2x's to the first power. Here's a negative x to the first power. So 2x's minus 1x is positive x. So x to the first power, I use this and this. Lastly, I'm looking for constant numbers all by themselves without variables. We have positive 5 here and negative 4 here. And positive 5 plus negative 4 is positive 1. So there's our answer. All right? Some cautions. Be careful. When I say be careful, let me remind you that I believe that most mistakes that happen in mathematics are unforced errors. And what I'm always afraid of is that somebody's going to see this and that they're not going to take their time and they're going to start doing this huge multiplication problem. It says clearly to add. So we want to add these together. Now I'm going to ask you, there's no one here but me and you, have you ever made that mistake? And if you have, join the club and let's try to avoid that, okay? So if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. If you have comments to make, please make them. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.